The Great Dane originated not in Denmark as you might think, but in Germany where he's known as a Deutsche Dogge. Breeds in his background are thought to include the Irish Wolfhound, from whom he gets his hide, the Mastiff who contributed heft, and the Greyhound, responsible for his sleek physique. He was designed to hunt boar and at the time was as ferocious as his tusked adversary. Later, he was often found as an estate guardian. In 1876, the Great Dane was named the national dog of Germany, but he came to be appreciated in other countries as well, including the United States. Today, with his gentle nature and giant stature, it's no wonder that many people love this interesting dog. The Akita originated on the Japanese island of Honshu in the rugged, cold, mountainous Akita prefecture, from which he takes his name. The dogs helped hunters seek out and bring down big game such as boar, elk, and the Yetso bear. A pair of Akitas would work as a team, with the male biting the beast and the female biting at it from behind. Their job was to keep the animal at bay until the hunters arrived to dispatch it. The Akitas also guarded family members and property. The Japanese government declared the Akita a natural monument in 1931. Akitas became known in the United States after an inspirational speaker and writer, Helen Keller, visited Japan on a speaking tour in 1937 and was presented with an Akita puppy. That puppy died of distemper, but Keller acquired another one who was her companion for the next decade. Unfortunately, World War II jeopardized the Akita's existence. Many were killed for food or for their fur. Enough survived though, and the breed was revived after the war. It was especially popular with American servicemen, many of whom brought the dogs back after a tour of duty in Japan. Those dogs became the foundation of the breed in the United States. The Great Dane is often described as a gentle giant, but he's naturally protective when the situation calls for it. He's affectionate and loves people, and those qualities should never be perverted by encouraging aggressive behavior. Great Danes love children, but they must learn how to be gentle around them. One swipe of that wagging tail will knock a toddler over, so it's important to supervise their interactions. These big dogs can also learn to get along well with other pets, especially when they're raised with them since puppyhood. A fenced-in yard is necessary to keep the Great Dane from going out for a stroll on his own. He's not typically a jumper, so a 6-foot fence should be enough to keep him contained. Be aware that while adult Great Danes are pretty laid back, puppies are highly active and enjoy digging and other landscaping. You might think a Great Dane is best suited to life outdoors because of his enormous size, but just the opposite is true. He should be an indoors dog who is part of the family. When that is the case, the Great Dane is loving, learns well, and house trains easily. Left to his own devices, the amount of destruction he can do to your home and yard is beyond imagination. So don't let him enlighten you. The Akita is a powerful and independent dog with a bold nature. He's devoted and protective of his family, especially children, but aloof towards strangers and potentially aggressive towards dogs he doesn't know. He can mistake the high-pitched screams and rough play between children as actual fighting and step in to protect them if he's not supervised. Early and frequent socialization are essential to help him develop the confidence and discrimination he needs to recognize what is a threat and what is normal. Unlike many other Spitz breeds, the Akita is not known for barking, which makes him attractive to apartment dwellers, but that does not detract from his abilities as a watchdog. He's highly protective, and when he does bark, you should pay attention. The Akita is not the type of dog to follow his people around, but he likes knowing where they are and spend time with them. Other people, he's just not that into them. This intelligent but independent dog can be a challenge to train. The Akita is not going to do something just because you want him to. You have to earn his respect. He responds well to clicker training and positive reinforcement techniques such as play, praise, and food rewards, but he also likes to do things his own way. To be successful, you must be patient and willing to try many different methods to see which works. Find an experienced trainer who has an extensive bag of tricks. Keep training sessions short and fun so the Akita doesn't get bored. Gradual training works best with this breed. Don't try to cram too many concepts into his head at once. On the plus side, Akitas are a fastidious breed, making them easy to house train. Akitas can get along well with other animals when they're raised with them since puppyhood, but they do best when other dogs in the home are of the opposite sex. They will go after unknown animals who come onto their property, and they won't back down from a fight if another dog initiates a throwdown. Before we continue, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button as it would mean a lot. Thanks. Any dog, no matter how nice, can develop obnoxious levels of barking, digging, counter-surfing, and other undesirable behaviors if he is bored, untrained, or unsupervised. Any dog can be a trial to live with during adolescence. Start training your puppy the day you bring him home. Even at 8 weeks old, he's capable of soaking up everything you can teach him. Don't wait until he's 6 months old to begin training, or you will have a more headstrong dog to deal with. If possible, get him into puppy kindergarten class by the time he's 10 to 12 weeks old and socialize. However, be aware that many puppy training classes require certain vaccines like kennel cough to be up to date, and many veterinarians recommend limited exposure to other dogs in public places until puppy vaccines, including rabies, distemper, and parvovirus, have been completed. In lieu of formal training, you can begin training your puppy at home and socializing him amongst family and friends until the puppy vaccines are completed. Talk to the breeder, describe exactly what you're looking for in a dog, and ask for assistance in selecting a puppy. Breeders see the puppies daily and can make uncannily accurate recommendations once they know something about your lifestyle and personality. All dogs have the potential to develop genetic health problems, just as all people have the potential to inherit a particular disease. Run and don't walk from any breeder who does not offer a health guarantee on puppies, who tells you that the breed is 100% healthy and has no known problems, or who tells you that her puppies are isolated from the main part of the household for health reasons. A reputable breeder will be honest and open about health problems in the breed and the incidents with which they occur in their lines. The Great Dane is unfortunately prone to a host of health problems. Among the conditions that can affect the Great Dane is bloating, a condition in which the stomach expands with air. This can become a more serious condition, gastric torsion, if the stomach twists on itself, cutting off the blood supply. In the case of this grave emergency, immediate surgery is the only thing that can save his life. Great Danes also suffer from a high incidence of cardiomyopathy, a disease of the heart muscles resulting in an enlarged heart.
Great Danes are powerful giants who are regal, intelligent, and elegant with a warm temperament. These dogs are so iconic that in 1876, Germany declared the Great Dane its national dog. With a maximum height of 30 to 32 inches, these dogs are literally the tallest dogs in the world. Males weigh 140 to 175 pounds, whereas females weigh
only
110.
clear the dog for the time being. A dog could test clear one day and develop heart disease the next. Great Danes can also suffer from hip dysplasia, a crippling malformation of the hip socket that may require costly surgery to repair and can result in painful arthritis later in life. Cancer is another leading cause of death in Great Danes, particularly bone cancer. They're also prone to a number of other skeletal, vision, and neurological problems, both major and minor. All in all, Great Dane vet bills, like the dogs themselves, tend to be very large. Before individual Great Danes can be included in a Canine Health Information Center (CHIC), the Great Dane Club of America requires them to have a hip evaluation from the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals, Ontario Veterinary College or PennHip, a clearance from the Canine Eye Registry Foundation, an OFA thyroid evaluation from an approved laboratory, and a cardiac evaluation from OFA or the ACVIM Registry of Cardiac Health. In Akitas, the health problems you're most likely to encounter are hip dysplasia, an eye disease called progressive retinal atrophy that causes blindness, an immune disorder called acquired myasthenia gravis, von Willebrand disease, an immune system disorder that affects the skin, and sebaceous adenitis, a disease that ends in total hair loss. The Akita Club of America participates in the Canine Health Information Center, a health database. Before individual Akitas can be issued a CHIC number, breeders must submit hip evaluations from the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals or PennHip, an OFA thyroid evaluation, eye test from the Canine Eye Registry Foundation, and optional certifications that are recommended but not required are OFA patella and elbow evaluations. Breeders must agree to have all test results, positive or negative, published in the CHIC database. A dog need not receive good or even passing scores on the evaluations to obtain a CHIC number, so CHIC registration alone is not proof of soundness or absence of disease, but all test results are posted on the CHIC website and can be accessed by anyone who wants to check the health of a puppy's parents. A good breeder will be able to discuss the prevalence of all health problems in her dog's lines, those with and without genetic screening tests, and how puppy buyers make an informed decision about health risks to their dog. Don't fall for a dishonest breeder's sales pitch. If the breeder tells you she doesn't need to do those tests because she's never had any problem in her lines, her dogs have been vet checked, or any of the other excuses bad breeders have for skimping on the genetic testing for their dogs, walk away immediately. Careful breeders screen the breeding dogs for genetic diseases and breed only the healthiest and best looking specimens. But sometimes Mother Nature has other ideas and a puppy develops one of those diseases despite good breeding practices. Advances in veterinary medicine means that in most cases the dogs can still live a good life. If you're getting a puppy, ask the breeder about the ages of the dogs in their lines and what they died of. Remember that after you've taken a new puppy into your home, you have the power to protect him from one of the most common health problems in dogs, obesity. Keeping your dog in an appropriate weight is one of the easiest ways to extend his life. Make the most of your preventive abilities to help ensure a healthier dog for life. The Great Dane has a short, thick, smooth coat. It sheds moderately, in other words more than you think, but requires little grooming. Brush the Dane weekly with a rubber hound mitt or soft bristle brush to keep the hair and skin healthy. In spring and fall, he will have a heavy shed, known as blowing the coat, and will need to be brushed more frequently during that time to get rid of all the loose hair. Bathe the Dane as you desire or only when he gets dirty. With the gentle dog shampoos available now, you can bathe the Dane weekly if you want without harming his coat. Brush the Akita's double coat weekly to keep it clean and remove dead hair. During spring and fall shedding seasons, daily brushing will help to keep their excess hair under control. In addition, trim his nails as needed, brush his teeth, and keep the ears clean to prevent infections. The rest is basic care. Trim the nails as needed, usually once a month, and good dental hygiene is important, so brush the teeth frequently for good overall health and fresh breath. Check the ears weekly for dirt, redness, or a bad odor that can indicate an infection. If the ears look dirty, wipe them out with a cotton ball dampened with a gentle ear cleaner recommended by your veterinarian. It's best to introduce your dog to grooming at an early age so he will accept it gracefully. Alright guys, which one do you think you'll get? Tell me down in the comments.